silver spoon. It's a crazy night to another moonlight. Cowboys are looking good, cowgirls are looking fine. It's time to get countrified. We'll travel along the road, surfing on the shore, where the black top is, don't you know? Then we'll start the fire, jump over that chicken wire. This is the way to countryside. We're high all night, so we'll just get high. Texas chili cooking in the pot, 1, 2 tequila shots. Serve me some more, what you got? This barbecue is hitting the spot. I want you to serve me a lot. I need some more hot sauce. We can control the hunger of our soul. It's now 2 o'clock, and we just started to rock. It's looking like we'll never stop. Let's all gather round and dance to our own sound. We're all getting down, getting countrified. We've got all night under the sunny sky. You hear all the same inside, like how it says we'll have a good time. People see amigas getting countrified. They can trace know what drives. We all got a hillbilly bone inside. Oh, the sweet side getting countrified. This is how we get down, getting countrified. I said this is how we get down, getting countrified. All night, that's right.
All right, it's the boy, Comedian Edwin Douglas, and you are on Uheardme1st radio talk show. That's right, we are on iheart-radio, Spotify.com, yes, as well as Spreaker, and yes, also on Google Podcast. Now, let me bring in both of my co-hosts, and that is Mr. Motivator. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great today.
Good. And let's bring in our DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben, Mr. Motivator, and Comedian Edwin Douglas. I dedicated that song to both of you because y'all a little bit countrified. Uncle Ben. All right.
You know I was country, Uncle Ben there. Hey.
You from Gilmer, Texas, and Uncle Ben knows everything. Uncle Ben. Okay, guys. Okay. We have a great show today. Very gifted, talented young lady, country music artist. Please welcome to Uheardme1st radio talk show, the one and only Madelyn Victoria. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are
Great.
you?
I guess our DJ sidekick surprised you by playing the song Countrified, huh?
Oh man, yes. Oh man, when I first heard the music, I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, both of these guys are country, so I guess he had to. They say what's in you got to come out. So I guess why he played that song today.
Oh yeah. Well, very nice. I'm grateful.
Well, let's get down to business. Tell us about when you was in high school. Were you thinking about music, or was music part of your life when you were growing up?
Yeah, so it's a bit of both, I've been around music for a very long time. On my mom's side of the family, a lot of my uncles and cousins, they all play guitar and sing, and so every family gatherings growing up, we'd bust out guitars and just have a good time singing, and it was just natural for all of us. But they would tell me that I had something a little extra as far as not being shy and being out there. And my first performance was when I was only 5 years old, and it just started and grew from there. It's just something I've always loved. I've just had a passion for it for a very long time. And in high school, I started my first band, and it was awesome. I mean, I wanted to be successful, so I was looking at all the steps and what I got to do, and started playing locally around there and moving on up regionally into Texas, and it's been a great time so far.
Great. So I see that you play a guitar. Is there any other instrument that you can play or know how to play?
So yeah, I actually play guitar only when I'm songwriting. I'm very shy when it comes to guitar playing. I don't know. My brother is mainly my guitar player. We do acoustic shows, full band. My brother's up there. He's acting band leader for me as well. We songwrite together, so he's my musical partner in crime, my brother Albert. So when I play guitar, I'm with him usually songwriting here at the house. But as far as other instruments go, I can play a mean tambourine.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I play tambourine during acoustic shows and whatnot to keep the beat going and whatnot. But I'm starting to pick up harmonica a little bit, and so hopefully I could get that down. It's a lot of things I'm doing right now, and whenever I have spare time, in my free time, I try to pick up that harmonica. Except also, when I start playing my harmonica, it's hard to practice because our little dogs that we got around here, my brother's dog and his wife's dog, and then our other dog, Sunny, they start howling with me. They start howling with the harmonica, so it's hard to practice with it. They're all howling and singing along, and so, man. But, yeah.
Okay, cool. Mr. Motivator?
Hello, Madelyn. Madelyn,
hey.
We're so excited to have you with us today. And I just wanted to ask you, have you heard a song called Dirt on My Boots by John Party?
Yes, I have. John Party's one of my favorites.
Well, that's one of my favorites, going to hit the club and going to cut a little rug. And when I first heard that, my wife and I, we both fell in love with that because I grew up in East Texas, and in Gilmer, Texas, they had this event called a Gilmer Jamboree, and we had one section of town they had the gospel, and on the other section was country, and they had a stage, and so I listened to both. I listened to the gospel and I listened to country, but I just wanted to say that after I heard Country Pride, and then I heard Wild Ride, I fell in love with you, and I love the music, the singing. Now, can you tell us what inspired you to put that together? Because I felt the excitement, the fun, the food, the barbecue. How did you put all that together?
Yeah, for sure. I'll let you know. And thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoy my music. And, yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm your fan now.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And, well, on Countrified, that was one of the first songs I ever wrote way back in the day. I was in high school, and, that's just an overall peek into my life, you know, getting together with family and friends, and we love to eat, and we love to play music, and we love to just have fun around a campfire and a little bit of drinking and just having a good time, you know, and that's exactly what I wanted to portray as one of my first songs out there. You get a little bit of the lifestyle, like, you're from Texas, the Texas lifestyle, and anybody else that's not from Texas can get an introduction to it as well. And I want everybody to know what Texas is about, you know. So
awesome.
That's pretty much where it is. And then Wild Ride, you mentioned that one. I was actually on with my Uncle Joe, and my mom and my dad and my brother and my sister-in-law. We were out, you know, having a good time, doing a little drinking in the backyard, and my uncle was feeling real good, and he wanted to take us out to his deer lease, and he wanted to show us something out there, and we had no idea what he wanted to show us. You know, we just thought, you know, just take a drive out there in the middle of the deer lease, and, you know, where they go out hunting and whatnot. And so we took off at, like, midnight, and we're going through all the back roads, and it's bumpy, and it's crazy, and my mom's like, this is a wild ride. And I was like, yeah, it is. And so I got inspired from my mom saying that, and we head out there, and my uncle wanted to show us how the stars looked at night, and how he turned off all, like, you know, the headlights, and how beautiful it was out there and whatnot. So that was a good moment, a good memory with my family and with my Uncle Joe, and I always, you know, say that song is for him, and he inspired it, as long as my mom. And just having, again, you know, another example of what I like to do and like to have fun with my family.
Wow, that's awesome. I think you're a cool young lady, and a lot of people didn't know that about Mr. Motivator. But also, tell me about the beautiful fiddle and the other instruments and all that comes out of your music. I just love it. And one other thing too, was it true that you was born on a dance floor, and Dr. Houston had on his cowboy boots and hats, and he was the one that delivered you?
Well, yeah, I'll get to that right now. I'll tell that story. It's I like the way it sounds so spruced up a little bit, but it has the you know, the idea of that. But going to the musicians real quick and the people that have been in my music, the first record that I did, Countryfied is probably the only one available from the first few songs that I released. Anybody else that has the first few songs I really released back in, man, it was like, oh man, I can't even remember what year, maybe 2010, around there. It was only sold through physical copies, and so whoever has those physical copies, of course I have them here on my computer, but I haven't released them any. You know, I want that to be kind of like a special select thing. Maybe one day I can release them when I'm a little bit bigger as an artist, but just to show, you know, what I did. So the guys from back home, I'm from the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, and that's way deep down south. I'm from San Benito, and that's hometown of Freddie Fender. He made it big in Nashville, and he's from my hometown. And so anyway, I've got a lot of local musicians that were a part of that. James DeVary is on fiddle on that Countryfied, and it was also Michael Luna was on the lead guitar. And man, hearing that, I hadn't, you know, hearing your own records, I don't hear my own records all the time, and I hadn't played that one in a while, and hearing them play again just now when you played the song was just wow. Like, I forgot how talented they were, and not that I forgot, it's just good to hear it, and it's refreshing to hear that again, and so it's really cool to hear them do that. I always thank them for being a part of that record with me. First of all, you know, they were my friends, and we used to play a lot of gigs together. Now I'm in San Antonio, so it's a little harder for them. It's about a 4 to 5 hour drive. So we're trying, you know, I have more musicians around in my circle, a lot of people that play, but I always, you know, remember and thank those musicians that first played with me in that first record. And now going back to your second question, I was born to country music, but it was not on a dance floor. That would have been awesome. It'd be like my mom was out in the night dancing and, you know, whatever. But it just so happened that Dr. Houston was a huge George Strait fan, and I'm a huge George Strait. Yeah, I'm a huge George Strait fan now. Like, he is one of my top influences. I hope to be, you know, the female country George Strait.
I heard you.
Yeah, and so Dr. Houston, he had George Strait and country music with his boots on, delivering me and the music playing while, you know, he was operating on my mama. And it's a cool thing to see me, you know, maybe that's the main reason why I love country so much. You never know. I mean, coming out first is born into the world is the first thing I hear.
Country.
Wow. What we're going to do is take a quick commercial break, and don't no one go nowhere too far. You heard me? This is your boy, Comedian Edwin Douglas. Are you looking for a car? Do you have bad credit? All you need is $500, and your job is your credit. That's right. Log on AutoCityCredit.com. That's AutoCityCredit.com. And by the way, when you get there, tell them you heard it all on Uheardme1st Radio Talk Show. You heard me? Now go get your car. All right. We are back. We are back with a special guest, beautiful spirit, also very gifted and talented. We're talking about the country music artist, Madelyn Victoria. And before we went on a break, Mr. Motivator, I don't know how he came up with the question, born on the dance floor with his silly self, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. My question is, have you had any experience at the Country Music Award when they had it in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at the AT&T Stadium? Did you get an experience with that?
What was it again? What was it?
It was they had a Country Music Award at the Cowboys Stadium. I think it was like a couple of years ago. Did you get an opportunity to go there?
I actually did not. I did not get to go out there and experience that. I've been to a couple of award shows of kind of just around more of the Texas regional kind of award shows, you know, but also a couple of award shows in Nashville for independent artists. But I did not know about that one. I know there's a lot of awesome award shows that go around, and you know, certain circles get nominated and whatnot, but I think I missed that one.
Okay. Tell us some of the big names that may have been a big influence in your career.
Sure, yeah. So I grew up listening to, well, you know, it's all kinds of music, country being the main one, and that comes from my dad. My mom was a rocker in the 70s, so she has I have a little bit of Southern rock in me, you know, from CCR, also to let's see, Leonard Skinner, and then even going to harder rock to Led Zeppelin I love. So that's a little bit of that. But then country, of course, my main thing comes from my dad, and I would be riding around with him in the truck, in his trucks, and his big old semis. Actually, my dad was a truck driver, and listening to George Strait, listening to Eddie Rabbitt, listening to Alan Jackson as well. My dad loves Ronnie Millsap, and pretty cool. I was up in Nashville not too long ago, and I was in his recording studio playing on his piano, Ronnie Millsap. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So I've also I have a lot of influences from the 90s. You know, I'm a 90s baby, 90s country. I grew up. I was born. I mean, all kinds of 90s music. But as far as my musicianship goes, and you know what my influences go when I songwrite, I was born in 1990. So anything from 90s country, dance hall, what we say, honky tonks, bars, and all that. That's my favorite. And then it goes also into the Texas country region. You know, Willie Nelson is from here, and when Willie Nelson came back from Nashville, a whole music scene followed him and started up. So there's a lot of influences that I have within the Texas country music as well, some newer bands as well, and yeah, so it's there's a lot. And you know, I've had the opportunity, and I'm just so blessed to have also shared the stage with one of my biggest influences, and that's the Charlie Daniels Band, and that was an amazing show. I've opened up for a few cool big names. Tracy Lawrence is another one, you know, one of the legends coming up now, and but man, it's really cool. It's really surreal when you see and know, when you've had the opportunity to. I even spoke with Charlie Daniels, which is like It was crazy. Like he gave me some advice. You know, we were talking about, he knew Freddie Fender from my hometown, and they had shows back in the day, and he was talking about, wow, like he's you know, telling me to never give up and look at Freddie, he made it and whatnot. And then talking with his whole band as well, they're like, man, one day we'll be opening up for you, young lady, and those things like that from professionals, and it's amazing, and it keeps me going. You know, it keeps me going with that, and yeah.
Right. On this show here, we asked a lot of our guests what are some of the trials and tribulations that they are going through to make them become a better performer, a better person, man, woman. What are some of the things that you may have gone through that could have made you quit or a storm? Tell us whatever trial and tribulation you may have gone through, and it made you better who you are today.
All right, sounds good. So I've been doing this for a long time. You know, if people ask, like, you know, how long have you been playing? It's, man, I mean, my first performance was when I was 5. I started my band. I started in the entertainment industry when I was 15. I was a part of some big things going on in the entertainment industry as far as acting goes, and I was up in New York doing some auditions. I was a part of Radio Disney for a little while, and they wanted me to stick around the Dallas area and then audition for some pilot TV shows for Disney. There's a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors that were open and closed, and it's just one thing after another, and the whole thing is just don't stop and to never give up. And I actually have that written on a board here in my room that I'm actually looking at. I'm talking to you guys here in my room, and don't stop and never give up, because throughout it's like a roller coaster ride. That's pretty much what I've been through, and doors open, doors close. It's been a long time. I guess overall, you know, I'm kind of thinking, man, why haven't I made it big yet? Or why am I not, like, you know, in the millions on streams? Or why am I not, you know? But I feel like there's a time and there's a place, and little by little, I am getting there. My big dream is to own my own, you know, team and my own, I would guess say, record label, and little things that have happened in my life that have led me here. You know, now I'm studying music business and getting that done, and I knew I'd be getting that done, but it's like, you know, I don't know how to explain that. But one of the main things I guess I'll talk about with you guys is that maybe it could have opened the door for me even bigger, but it didn't. And the struggle and trial and tribulation I really went throughout my career has been with those TV shows, from American Idol to The Voice, all of that. A lot of people in my live shows talk and say, man, you need to go to American Idol, you need to go to The Voice, you need to go to America's Got Talent. And I'm over here just like, oh, you know, like, of course, you know, maybe one day, but the real true story is that I have been through all that, and I have been through the whole process. And with the producers of American Idol, the main producer that made American Idol, I've already sang for. He was starting up a new show called Rising Star, and they called me up, all the producers there and the casting directors. So I've been through it all with American Idol. I've gone all the way to the top in New Orleans. I was like the top 50, had my number, got to meet the judges, you know, was going to perform for them. And then last minute, without any warning, they pull me out and say, no, sorry, you're not going to do it after all. And in the contract, it says they could do whatever they want without any reason or whatever. And so even though they told me I made it, gave me my number, they pulled me out right when I was in line to audition, to walk into the room at the time. So you know, that's like, it's kind of rough. It's kind of, it could bring that could really bring down, you know, really bring you down. And that's just one story out of a lot that I have with The Voice and with American Idol, and make, you know, all the money that I've spent just traveling only because they call me. I've only been to the big, huge auditions that people see on TV with tons of people out there. I've only done that once. Let's say 5 to 6 times where they've called me. Other than that, they see my presence online. They see my original music. They see how big I'm growing, and they want me to get on this show yet. And I have to sacrifice and go out there. And I do, and I have, and I just know now, you know, that's just not the road for me. There are so many ways to make it, so many avenues. And my gut and everything that I've done, that every closed door is just telling me that there's a bigger door coming up, and I have to stay true to my heart, because in my heart, my big thing is owning my own record label and forming my team, and that's exactly what's happening right now with MTS management with Michael Stover. I'm hiring my radio promoters. I'm getting my business degree so I can present to my investors. So that takes time, and so I feel like that's how it's going to happen for me, what it's always been from the beginning, and for me to just never give up on that. And so that's a big one for me.
Well, Madeline, I'm gonna tell you this. I've been in the business for a long period of time, and as you were speaking, I was listening to your spirit, and God is preparing you, is building a team that's going to be obedient. I communicate with Michael quite a bit. You know, he contacted me, I respond back to him quickly, and I can tell that Michael is a good team management, meaning they take care of business because he's consistent, okay? And you want people like him and other people on your team that believe in your talent and your gift and your business. And I've gone through some things, and I've decided to be self-promoted, self-managed, write my own contract. I wear all the hats. And for me to pass this information to you, yes, you said American Idol, the voices, but guess what? You take those things and you put it on your bio and your resume. So when your team, yourself, your family, get your guys booked in any city in America, any country in the world, that goes right along with you. So, sweetheart, you're on the right path. I agree with you 300%. Control your own destiny. Yes.
Yes. Amen. You made me tear up a little.
Go ahead, Mr. Motivator.
Madeline, I'd like to say a few things to you, if I may. I just want you to know that when you discover who God has made you to be and what he put into you, it came from him. And you are truly one of the greatest. And I want you to know that you don't have to compete with anyone, and just be you and trust God. Because, Madeline, not only are you a beautiful guest and you're a beautiful lady, you're talented, the other amazing thing that you've been blessed with, you have a beautiful smile. It just melts our heart. And I love your smile. And God has a time for you. He has a season for you. And you just be encouraged and realize that he's getting you ready for that next big opportunity. And you don't have to prove anything or chase anyone down, because, young lady, you have it. You got that that special charisma that only the great ones have when they're getting ready to launch in that arena.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, before we let you go, the mic is yours. Tell everyone how you can be contacted. Let them know what you got coming up. The mic is yours. Go right ahead.
Oh, man. Thank you. And I just want to say, first off, you all are just an inspiration to me as well, and I needed to hear this today. I needed to hear those profound and amazing words, guys. So I appreciate y'all so much, and I'm going to keep going, and I want to connect with everyone as well who's listening in right now, so we could you share each other's stories. You know, I like to say I like to make friends, not fans, and I want to know, and that's inspiration in itself too for me. I love to meet everyone and know everyone and this whole world, and I believe, you know, with all the bad in the world, there's also good, and I want to know that good, and I want to see that good, and I know that I want to connect with everyone with that good and that love. So please follow me, guys. I'm on Facebook. My name is Madelyn Victoria. Once again, you can search me. You can go to my website, madelyn-victoria.com, and I've got all my links on there, all my show updates, all my music. I'm recording a new album right now, and I'm planning to release it by the end of the year. We're planning everything from promotions, huge radio tour, and to get out there more into other regions here in Texas and beyond. And I'm just super excited for everyone to hear more of what the talent that God gave me and to spread that and to spread that joy and that love through my music. And I'm just super excited to connect with each and every one of y'all. And I appreciate y'all having me on this show. It is really, it's a little, I'm having a moment here.
That's what this show is all about, bringing in real people who share their real stories. And I'm probably the only show, podcast, radio talk show, will give anyone more than 30 minutes to talk, because God has given me this platform to let people know that they're human. They make mistakes. They have trials and tribulations, and that's what U-Heardme1st radio talk show is all about.
Amen.
People.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
We love you, Madelyn.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you.
Take care, and this is your new home. Anytime you have anything you want to share, you're now part of the U-Heardme1st radio talk show family. Yes.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, you guys. Oh, man, thank you so much, and I can't wait to be back on. I know that once this new music is out, I definitely want to be on here to share that with y'all.
Yes.
Hey, we'll be waiting for you.
Woo, all right.
All right. Take care, and we'll be supporting you, okay?
Sounds good. Y'all take care as well. God bless.
All right. God bless you.
All right, Mr. Motivator, that I didn't expect myself and you to be preaching, but, you know, when we hear the Spirit, when we hear the Spirit, God takes over, and I'm glad that God came in. Well, He's always here, but I'm glad God came in, and my eye kind of watered too, man. Listening to her. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And for those who don't know, that Kyle Eden released a new album, and I'm going to play this for all of us. And the name of this song is Psalm 27:13. You heard me? Don't go away too far, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. The one who placed every star, creating every galaxy, from the greatest to the least, nothing is beyond your reach. What you think you immediately becomes my reality. I eat your word until you see the same in my vitality. Any demon brave enough to maybe try to challenge me with what you see. There's no way to actually ever handle me, the greatest power. He's living right, I don't have nothing, because with him I win. The same power that rose Christ from the dead, it's the same power that got me up out of bed. So I drink from His will, and I eat it to drink. I'm only saying what He said so I can see what He made. You have faith at the much you can move a mountain, but you ain't moving nothing. But you can feel it down. Trying to figure out how to win, what and how. Hey, get out. How many times wanna choose? I can die now. I'm just gonna do the work. I say we 65. You did it, cause God knows you're doing Can't start with the words in the word of God. From every word of His mouth, the whole world was full. He gave His only Son so that we would overcome the death of sin and every weapon formed. He said the devil is a liar and Jesus is real. He died on the cross so that the world could live. The power of His blood covers all of the sins, and it permits us to walk in His righteousness. And it's because of the cross that I am not lost, and this freedom I possess. It came at a cost. I know the power of His name and the power in His vein. The cross is more than the pretty charm on my chain. Have faith at the much you can move a mountain. But you ain't moving nothing, but you can feel the battle. Not trying to figure out how to win, what and how. Get out. Come on, just wanna choose. God can die now. And it's gonna do the one on one. I say I think I tried. Try to come in the field. Cause God is not your king. Hey. I see His promise in the land, Lord, and the name, Lord, and the name, yeah. I see His promise in the land, Lord, and the name, Impossible to please, impossible to please, impossible to please without fame. It's impossible to please, impossible to please without fame. Yeah, it's impossible to please, impossible to please, impossible to please without fame. Yeah, it's impossible to please, as the look to see you can move them out, but you ain't moving nothing. You super slow it down, trying to figure out all the way.
All right, it's your boy, Comedian Edwin Douglas, and we are on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show, and that was Christian hip-hop artist, songwriter, actress, Kyle Eden. We had her on the show last week, a couple of weeks ago, and amazing. And she's also the one that created You Heard Me First theme song that we have not played in a while, but we are very happy that her career had broke the chain. Yes, in the Christian music entertainment. Well, Mr. Motivator, before we go into Relationship Monday, tell us a little bit about what did you learn from our guest today.
I learned a lot about being humble, just having humbleness and persistence, refusing to not give up. Miss Madelyn Victoria inspired not only me, I believe she inspired our listeners today to not give up on their dreams, not give up on what God has placed within them. So that's what I got out of that today, and I felt the compassion, I felt the love, I felt the realness from this young lady because she's genuine, she's no fake, and these are the kinds of people, the people that we really want to support and get the word out there for them, because she's got everything that she needs and she doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. She really is a talented, gifted, amazing artist.
Wow. Yes, she is. Well, speaking of Relationship Monday, today I'm going to talk about music and relationship. Yeah, there are relationships when it comes to music. You have hip-hop, soul, you have jazz, blues, country music, you have folk music, you have all kinds of music as well as gospel music. Well, where am I going with the relationship in music? See, in order to be an artist, songwriter, or an entertainer, it has to be ordained in you as a gift and sometimes maybe talent. Because to be a great songwriter, to be a great singer, to be a great entertainer, to be a great performer, it has to be done by God as a gift for it to be ordained. Think about it. Let me name some great artists. Now, don't forget the word great comes from the greatness, and that's the creator, that is the person that put the gift inside of you the day that you were born. Now you have Elvis Presley, you have Al Green, you have James Brown, you have a lot of great artists because of the gift that God put inside of them the day that was born. Now, when you hear someone write great music and spend quality time, whether you like gospel, rock, jazz, but it's not for everyone, but it's for the people that who understand the movement in the person that presenting the music to those that who chooses to listen to it. I say all this because I cannot sing, but I give a lot of credit to the Most High, who He put the gift inside of the person that who we call a songwriter, a singer, a entertainer. That's God. And God relate to the people that He lay hands on to become great. See, you take your gift out to the battlefield. That's why we got to be so careful when we point fingers at someone and God take the impossible and make it possible. Now, just because God put it in you, that doesn't mean that you can abuse what He's given you and then not give it back to the Most High. And, of course, we've heard so many people get killed on drugs and do other many things that's against the law. Let me name one artist that I can say that was gifted, and his name is Robert Kelly, but he's known as R. Kelly. He has got himself in some trouble over the decades, over the years. Now, a lot of people may feel so sad and have hate because what he has done. Disagree of what he's telling the court, that he said he did not do those things, and all the women are lying on him. Well, I am guilty myself because I am accusing something that I don't know anything about. I was not there, but somehow the media promote it and continue to tell the story based on the ladies who step up and said he did all these things. Now, there's one thing that people have not paid attention to, and it's very simple. This man can sing. He's talented. He's gifted. In order to have a great album, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to be in it. You must have came out of it in order to create the song from the help of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, our Creator, God, our Father. Think about this. If the song is great and the music sounds good to anyone, how did he write these songs? They said that he cannot read or write. All I'm saying is, this is your boy, Comedian Edwin Douglas, on Relationship Monday. Oh, Mr. Motivator, I didn't mean to go there, but talk to me, man.
Wow.
Talk to me,
man, that's deep.
Talk to me, man. Say something, man. Say it.
Man, hey, you did such a good job. I don't really even want to mess with it, man, because you're right. How can a man not know how to read and write and come up with something so brilliant, a masterpiece, you know God gave him a special gift. And I love what you said. It's not for us to judge. We gotta pray pray for people like that, and pray that God intervenes in their lives, and that he helps them with whatever they're dealing with. But we can't go and nail everybody to the cross if we really don't know ourselves. You know, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. At least that's what the law is supposed to be.
What we're going to do is we're going to play one more song before we go into Motivation Moment by Mr. Motivator, and don't no one go nowhere too far. You heard me? So come on back, and we got you right here on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. So I wanted to take a break, Mr. Motivator, because that was deep. Okay, that was so deep to the point where that we got to find time. We'll be right back.
Going down to do the stone, the hole in the heart, and it was wrong. Don't get along, she in my phone. Look to the summer, I didn't go. I know the love that ain't been shown. Just to make you feel the sky. Knew your mind, clear the sun, the place is mine. This frustrated and impatient, but you did it face to face. No matter how you try, you just get you in it face to face, and you gon' do it different from the way in your dad. It's sleeping with the dudes with no agenda, being mad. Baby, all your pain. What you do that so, you worth much more. Hey, don't you know, you're absolutely beautiful. I tried possession, but through criticism and rejection. But Jesus' love for you so passes any. Yeah, let me come in. Let me come in. Let me come in. He's saying, let me come in. Let me come in. He's crying, let me come in. He's screaming, let me come in. He's saying, let me come in. Let me come in. He said that I will never leave it, cause I died for love. And I call him on the record, he comes saying, let me come in, let me come in, he crying, let me come in, he's saying, let me come in, let me come in. Now you upset and disappointed by the way that it's been going. You hoping by this time you have a lot more money, but your daddy walked away, so it all fell on your plate. The hell, mama paid her rent, now you just doing what it takes. In the trap, on the job, standing door to door, all the things you you took that man, but you were man of purpose, despite your imperfections, and Jesus' love for you surpasses all your women. Let me come in, let me come in, let me come in. He's saying, let me come in, let me come in. He's crying, let me come in. He's screaming, let me come in. He's saying, let me come in, let me come in. He said that I will never leave it, cause I died for love. And I call him on the record, he's saying, let me come in, let me come in. He's crying, let me come in. He's saying, let me come in, let me come in. You can't do it without my love. You can't do it without my grace. You can't do it without my love. You can't do it without me. By my side, in spite of my pride, you can't win, save me, you can get down the line. By my side, in spite of my pride, you can't win, save me, you can get down the line to win.
All right, that was once again Christian hip hop artist Kyle Eaton, her debut album War, and the name of that song is Let Me Come In, Mr. Motivator. Yes, Christian hip hop artist. I'm going to continue to promote that album. That is a cold-blooded album. Christian hip hop artist Kyle Eaton has broken the chain in the Christian music entertainment business. Now, yes, we are back. I had to let us take a break because God took over this episode, and that was no plan. But after listening to our guest, after me feeding her soul, you were feeding her soul, the Holy Spirit picked up on it, and now I'm down to hear Motivation Moment by Mr. Motivator. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I would like to dedicate Motivation Moment to our guest today, country's finest, Miss Madelyn Victoria. Life is a wild ride. Let me repeat that to everyone. Life is a wild ride. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 3, it tells us that a prudent man foresees difficulties ahead and prepares for them, but the simple-minded blindly goes on and suffers the consequences. I want to ask you a question, you that are listening to me right now. Are you ready for a wild ride? What wild ride am I talking about? Life is a wild ride. The best thing you can do is to prepare for it. Life is a wild ride because you never know how the ride is going to be. You never know how it's going to end out. How the ride is going to end. It can be smooth or it can be rough. One of the best ways I think I can describe that is to look at the people that do the bull riding. Growing up in the country, it was one of the most fascinating things for me to see when my parents took us to the rodeo. But I didn't realize that there was so much involved in riding that bull, because there's so much that you got to prepare for. The ride can be rough, it can be fast or bumpy, it can be very dangerous, even though adventurous. It can be scary yet crazy. It can be unbearable. It can also be a death experience, or you can be stomped to death. But now, what I noticed, the bull riders have to be prepared, because even with the adult bull, the adult bulls weigh about 2,400 pounds, and there are some that are much larger, so that you can end up being on top of an animal that weighs a ton. So the bull riders have to prepare very carefully. They gotta make sure that their attitude, their confidence is intact. They gotta make sure they have a plan, and they need to make sure that they have their spiritual life in order, because they may not come back after riding that bull. But the first thing, while the bull is in the stable and he's kicking and snorting and everything, the bull rider has to make sure he sets down, he eases down on the saddle. He can't be real rough and scare that bull. That'll make it worse, because the bull could crush him to death being inside the stable. The bull rider has to be dressed. He's got to have on a padded vest. He has to have on leather chaps, or he has to have on his hat. And the wise bull riders will have a helmet on, and they have to have their gloves. Then they got to grip that glove, and then once they let that bull out of the cage, okay, they got to make sure they have they hold those ropes real tight with one hand. Then the other hand, they have to use it to balance themselves. And they got to be real careful, and then they got to focus. They can't allow themselves to get distracted or go look off wandering, because it could be the most dangerous thing that they could encounter. And if they fall, they got to be careful, even if they fall off, because the bull can run right into them with his horns. He can take them and pick them, flip them up in the air 5 or 6 times, and when they come down to the ground, he can stomp them to death. Just one stomp could just completely demolish and crush a leg in two. So riding a bull is a sport, but it's very dangerous, and you're going to be on an animal that you got to try to prepare yourself for this 8-minute or 10-minute ride. And that equates to life. You know, we get knocked down. I think so many times we get discouraged because sometimes we put our faith in the world, and we got to know who we are. You got to know who you are and whose you are and what you're made of. And Miss Madelyn Victoria inspired me today because she is tough. And I must say, some of the toughest people that I ever met in my life growing up came from the country, because life was tough. Living in the country, dealing with everything in the country was tough. And you had to be tough in order to survive. But we have to get ready for the wild ride, and that's life. Life is up and down. You never know how he's going to throw you, how he's going to toss you, how he's going to crush you. But you got to be tough, as Miss Madelyn Victoria was, and you got to keep going and know that God gave you something special, and he made you in his image, and you got to realize that you're unique and there's nobody else like you. There's no copycat. There's no one else that has the identical fingerprints that you have, because God gave you your own uniqueness and your own identity. Now, this is what I want to encourage everyone to think about the wild ride. Think about how tough life can be. And the first thing you need to do is to realize that, according to Romans chapter 4 and verse 8 and 37, it tells us that we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. So the first thing you got to do, you got to see yourself as the way you want to become. Visualize yourself as a winner. Are y'all listening to me? I'm talking to you, that one who's done like Miss Madelyn Victoria. You may have gone to American Idol for the 50th, 60th time, and all of a sudden they just get rid of you for no reason. You're out of there. You got to visualize and see yourself as a winner. Then you continue to study and prepare yourself for success. And then number 3, don't expect life to be easy. Know that it's going to get wild, rough, and dangerous. Number 4, always set short-term and long-range goals. Number 5, you got to have a plan that has a strategy, a plan that helps you to list the obstacles that you got to face. And then you got to have a plan that lists options and solutions that will get you to your goal. And the number 6, you got to pray and ask for God's favor, his wisdom, his boldness, his direction, and guidance in your life. And remember, when you make Christ the Lord in your life, that means he's your master, and you realize that everything good that has happened in your life came from him. And number 7, treat people good. I heard Miss Madelyn Victoria say, I want to make friends and not just fans. Now, only someone that's humble, someone that understands the value of a relationship, the value of friendships, can say something like that. Treat people good, build good relationships, And when you build good relationships, guess what? You are building bridges. And there are many bridges in life. But if you treat people bad, you stomp on people, you use people, you trick people, you do people in, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You are sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging your career because you're burning up those bridges, and those bridges represent the valuable relationships that are in your life. It's the the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, all the way to the top, to the president. A relationship is important, and you never know who God is going to use to help pick you up off of the floor or to get you to the bridge that's going to get you to that career. It's going to get you to the plateau that God has taken you. So remember, life is a rough ride. And as they always say in the Westerns, ride 'em hard, cowboy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Motivator.
All right, Mr. Motivator. Great job. We run out of time, but it's all good. Before we go, a quick announcement. The Comedy Bible, 2020 version. That's myself, Comedian Edwin Douglas, will be in Tyler, Texas. Yes, sir. That's March the 17th. I'll give you guys more details as time get a little bit closer, and we'll keep you posted on the tour as well. And also, guess what? Next week, 7 days from now, is Uheardme1st radio talk show first anniversary, 1 year anniversary. Yes, our official date, March the 19th, when we kicked off and launched the show, 2018, and now it's 2019. God is good. That's all the announcement that I have. Mr. Motivator, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to give everyone that's listening my website. It's mr-motivator.dj.com. Again, that's Mr. Motivator, D for Dwight, J for Jeffrey, mr-motivator.dj.com. And again, I want you all to continue to listen and support our broadcast. And I will be keeping you posted and abreast on the new comedy show that I will be hosting live here in Dallas, Texas. It's #JoyBombComedy, or you can go to the website joybombcomedy.com. That's JOYBOMBCOMEDY.com. Thank you.
All right. And also myself is going to let Uncle Ben, Word of the Day come back next week. Mr. Motivator, we should do that before you jump on board. But I'm going to bring back Uncle Ben, Word of the Day on our anniversary episode, which is next week. And my goodness, man, this has been a great episode, great show. And I'm proud to have Mr. Motivator and, of course, Uncle Ben to be a part of this broadcast. And God is good, man. It's only going to get bigger and better. But in the meantime, don't forget to tune in on iheart-radio, Spotify.com, also Spreaker.com, YouTube.com, as well as Google Podcasts. Because you know why? Because we always on demand. So until next time, your boy, Comedian Edwin Douglas, along with my co-host, Mr. Motivator, and of course our DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben.
I ain't talking it's just a talk. What you heard about me? If it ain't about God, then it ain't about me. And I was made by the king, and the king again. I know the haters only hate words they can't. I go ahead and never July. From the block to block, he holding me up high to sit on top of. Although my enemies surround me, shooting the fire. I'm fly hotter than they can into mine. Look here, you mad about this, and I'm distracted and thirsty. I'm telling them to scavenge just to get to my first. And when you really think about it, it's just you that you hurting. Trying to knock me down and throw my name in it. He said the last will be first, and the first will be last. I am what I can with my heart and the pressure. I am who I am, doing only what I can. Where I'm weak, he's stronger than anyone. Yeah, that's the one that I'm waiting on, the one that gave me life, the one that wanted to say no, the one that hope and goes, that can no man close, he keep me on my toes, so I go wherever he goes. Yeah, now he don't hide in the righteous, no, and I don't care if you don't like me, so I came to tell you what's mine, didn't come to make friends, always my time. Yeah, yo, okay, yeah. No. Yeah, okay, yeah,
You heard me. Me. You heard me. Uncle Ben. This been another great episode on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. Uncle Ben. You heard me.